Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and the Frankie Smith Funeral Home.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. I'm Paul Jasson, your host. Thank you for joining us. And as we begin taping today, it's a little overcast, a bit rainy in Lancaster as we kind of transition with the winter kind of fading out, the spring fading in, a couple things going on here. So we'll get there eventually. Just not right now, but we'll get there eventually. So as we tape today, it's a little sketchy right here. So but it'll get a lot better. So we're looking forward to that. So we thank you for joining us. Second half of the show today, we're going to talk to Fisher Catholic High School. They've got a big play coming up. We're going to see the director of that, and some of the kids will be on with us too. We'll have a chance to talk about the big Fisher Catholic play that's coming up. But our first segment today, it's a pleasure to have on Peg Tobin. Peg, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Yep. I saw Peg, I don't know, it's been 2 or 3 weeks ago now.
About 3 weeks.
She was down here in Lancaster. She is a Canal Winchester girl at this point, but she was down at our Lancaster Kiwanis Club and did a really fine program on a recruitment company that she owns, Tobin
and Associates.
And they're operated out of Canal Winchester. But we only have about 15 minutes, so when I start listing your qualifications, that may take all the time I have here.
Sure.
Peg is an RN, and she runs this Tobin Associates, which is a recruitment company, and a lot going on. You're an author. She's written books, so did you enjoy the nursing aspect? I suspect that was the first part of those three that I mentioned. You were the nurse first.
I was the nurse first, but I didn't become a nurse until I was 40 years old.
Oh, second career?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I actually taught school.
And decided that after you got done with that, it was time to do
Always
something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I kind of always wanted to be a nurse, but kind of stood back. I thought, oh my, all that science, I won't be able to handle it. But then I thought, oh, what the heck, give it a shot.
Were you from around here originally? I know you're Canal Winchester now.
No, actually, I was born in South Carolina.
Okay.
I met my husband in California. My dad was military, so I moved around all my life. And then my husband said he would settle me down. He lied.
Typical husband.
Right. He was in healthcare administration, and he just kind of fixed up, started buildings, started companies, hospitals, clinics. And so I just traveled along with him, and we went all over the place. And then when we came here, he got transferred here from Arizona.
Another
that
location.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona or South Carolina
Yeah,
would be better
whatever.
than perhaps today.
But anyway, we moved here and did my nursing here, and then just decided one day, let's give it a shot. So I did. I went out and gave it a shot and started a company. And
Did you work at some of the hospitals around here before you went into this?
Yeah, but I worked at Grand Hospital, but
Okay.
I chose long-term care.
Okay.
I wanted to get into long-term care. I like it. I have more freedom to think and use my own skills for assessment because the doctors are not there all the time.
Right.
And it just made me use more of my education, and I wanted to do it. So, and then before I knew it, I was in leadership.
So now we've progressed to Tobin and Associates.
Correct.
Here. This is your company. It's a national recruiting program. Tell us, you just decided that was the natural evolution from that's something you wanted to do, wanted to be your own boss for a while?
Yes, I did. Actually, got to tell you the truth, it was because I have a granddaughter that needed a kidney transplant.
Oh.
And I was a corporate nurse for an organization, and I traveled a lot, but with her getting really ill, I wanted to be home with her. So I just thought, what the hey, I'm going to quit. They were very nice to me, but I wanted to be there with her, and out of that, I figured, I'm a nurse, I can get a job. And out of it, people started calling me and saying, hey, Peg, hey, Peg, can you, hey, Peg. So I started doing work in between, and it just evolved.
Well, when I saw you speak, it was Tobin Associates, and you talked about leadership recruitment. Is that, in a nutshell, what your company does?
That is one portion of it.
Okay.
It's probably the major portion. What we do, we're nationwide, but we only look for the executive level. We don't do floor level or what. Not that that's not important.
So
but
the
our
program you
expertise-
gave up at Kiwanis would have been for managers
Right.
and higher level.
To get them to seeing, because a lot of people get into
Leaders,
leadership,
yeah.
but they don't know what their dream is. They've
Yeah.
just kind of evolved into something. And unless you're living your passion, you won't be happy. So a lot of times you just need somebody to direct you and help you think about it. And you can be in healthcare, and that can be your passion. And I'm not telling that people, hey, live your dream, get out of what you're doing, but recognize that your dream is what drives you. And a lot of times you have to take a second look and sit down and ask yourself, am I doing what I want to do? And if you recognize it, you'll be a better leader.
And is this part of the do what you like and you'll never work a day? That
Yes,
phrase you hear so frequently.
absolutely. In fact, I think I used it in the presentation. So absolutely,
Yeah.
you will enjoy it.
So when you talk to, and I know you travel all over, I actually had a difficult time running Peg down because she does so many different things. She's involved in traveling around, and you just got, what was it, just back yesterday?
Yeah, well, actually, I came back Saturday.
Okay, just got back, and you're doing this, so you travel a great deal.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Doing presentations.
Yeah.
And that's about all I travel for, but our company also puts out people to do consulting and mentoring and guiding. We also put out people in interim, meaning temporary positions, executive level, because healthcare regulations require that somebody be in a position of that level 24/7. So we put it in temporary and we do it all over. But now what I do, and I do it internationally, is I go around and teach. So
Okay.
I do presentations for healthcare conventions. I go in for companies and help rally them and motivate
This
them.
is leadership training, teaching,
Leadership
not
training.
nurse training.
No,
Yeah.
I do not
Yeah.
do the clinical part of it
Sure,
anymore.
sure.
I let them do
Been
it,
there,
though.
done that,
Been
though.
there, done
Yeah.
that, and they're much better at it, so I'm going to stay over on the leadership side.
Yeah. So you enjoy that part of it. I could tell that you really enjoyed speaking to a crowd. Again,
do.
we're not your clientele. We wouldn't be people that you'd typically be speaking to, but I guess some of the things you're teaching in terms of leadership would have applied to all of us there at that
Yes.
meeting, and things that you can, little bits of information you can share with us would be important for everyone to know.
Right, leadership is leadership, and that is caring.
Yeah.
And you must, in order to be a great leader and really successful at it, and be a kind leader. I mean, Adolf Hitler was successful too, but he wasn't exactly the nicest
He made
leader
a nice
in the
car.
world. Yeah,
He fixed the roads.
Sure, but leadership is, you can teach it. Everybody needs to know how to learn to lead people and inspire them and motivate them and get them excited for life. So yes, I've started doing other type of presentations that are not just into healthcare. They go across. It's anybody in leadership. And the basic, the basic tools remain the same. You get involved, you get to know the people you're working with, you care about the people you work with, and you help them be successful. You'll be a successful leader.
Speaking with Peg Tobin. Peg is Tobin Search, Tobin Associates, a lot of things going on there, and you've got a great website. And if somebody would want to contact your company, what would be the best way to do that?
Probably through the website.
Okay, and
We
what's
have
your
someone-
address?
Our address is Tobin Search, TOBINSEARCH.com.
And that's a very comprehensive website. That's very
Thank you.
nice. You've got a lot of links, a lot of information. If somebody has a question about what you do, or maybe just some questions, a lot of it possibly could even be answered just by looking at your website and then contacting, because there's a contact us button, and then contacting you.
Right.
So
Right. Thank you.
obviously you feel that that's the way it's going now. Social media, that's the way it's
Social
all
media,
going.
absolutely. You have got, times change.
Sure.
I mean, unless you want to use the old bag phone and not ever evolve to this phone, you're going to use social media.
Now, I think you told me in our most recent email that you just came back and you been given an award?
I was
Something
awarded a
just
grant.
happened. A grant.
Yes, we looked at it, it deals with leadership, and it is an award by the long-term care civil
Right.
penalties.
The things you're interested in.
Right, very much. And so I thought I'd apply. I've never applied for a grant. Sat down, wrote it, sent it in, and they accepted the proposal. And what we're going to do is establish and implement off of the books and the workbooks that I've established on leadership, and we're going to go and extensively help the leaders, the nurse leaders in long-term care, and going to follow through with them and mentor them. We'll be doing it for 3 years.
I was going to say, this is an ongoing
It's
project.
a 3-year project.
So you'll be looking at companies, individuals that this is their
Right.
area?
We have certain requirements that
Sure.
they have to meet.
Sure.
And we will work with them and help them develop, because ultimately, which is what drives our whole company, is what's good for the resident and the patients in the bed. And if you have a good leader, it's going to affect them to the positive. So.
You're probably pretty excited about that, because this long-term care thing is your thing.
Yes, it is.
You're probably excited.
I'm very proud.
Well, I guess that's why you applied for it, because you felt it's something you had expertise in and really wanted to pass your information along to others.
Yes, absolutely, Paul.
Yeah.
I think that is our job. As we get to be, and you have success, you should pass it on to someone else.
Now, is it? I think maybe we covered that a little bit. Is it just hospital folks you would be talking to, or you go to other folks outside the hospital world?
I go mostly to long-term care, not hospital.
Not
Health
hospital.
care.
Healthcare. I mean
Healthcare.
Yeah.
I go to healthcare, and I do hospitals. I do long-term care. I do post-acute, home health, hospice, assisted living. It's all.
Well, we've hit the nursing, we've hit the company. Tell us about a couple books you've written.
I have written 2 books. It started off with...
You got them there?
Well, I have one over
Okay.
here. It's called Delegate or Suffocate was the first book, and actually that is what led us.
And from the side, we're going to get that.
Yeah, well,
I'll hold
these are
one
the
up here.
workbooks. You don't have the book? Oh, okay.
I'll hold one up
That
here.
is off of the book
Here,
that I
Aaron.
did, Delegate or Suffocate. And this is the little book. It's just small, but my husband's in healthcare administration, also read it, and he says it reminds him of the 1-Minute Manager. I just spoke very freely. You know I don't do fancy words, but I wanted this kind of book when I first got into it. Just something to make you think. You're in this situation, what do you do? This minute, what do you do? So I published it, and actually that has sold, and it's sold international. So it tells us there's issues with leadership internationally, and from that led to the presentations.
And that's available on your website?
Amazon, too.
Amazon.
Amazon.com.
Isn't everything
Yes.
available on Amazon?
And I'll take it.
Yeah.
But it's also on our website, but if you need any information.
Sure. So you're here. Where are you off to now? Do you know?
Actually, I'm very busy. I'm going to be flying out to Washington. We're going to Indiana. We're going to Kentucky. That's just a few. I'm going to be keynote speaker at those healthcare conventions.
Excellent.
So it's going to be fun.
Well, it's only Canal Winchester, but we appreciate your taking a couple of minutes to come down and join us. I enjoyed your talk at our Kiwanis Club several weeks ago, and I've enjoyed having you on here. And again, give us your website and some contact information that if folks want to learn more about Tobin Associates.
Well, you can go to our website, which is tobinsearch.com. You can, I really don't know where there might be other places, but you can get a lot of information off of our website.
It is a good website.
Go there if you want to call us. It's 888-336-7800. And if
You don't call yourself very often, do
No,
you?
I do not at all. But my email address, pegtobin@tobinsearch.com. Yes, I'm open to do presentations for small. I give away free ones, about 5 in a year.
Very good.
The rest of them, no, you have to pay me.
Very good.
And
Peg
they do.
Tobin is with us, and they do.
And they
you're
do.
glad, and you like that. Recruitment company, author, nurse, kind of do it all up there in Canal Winchester. Thanks for
Thank
spending
you.
a few minutes with us today. We've appreciated
My
it.
pleasure.
And hope some people contact you. Maybe one of these days we could catch you a little snippet again. We'll get you back. That'd be
Fantastic. We'll come and relay everything that's going on.
great. Peg Tobin, our guest. We'll be back with some Fisher Catholic folks in just a moment. Appreciate Peg Tobin being with us today. Talk about Tobin Associates, Tobin Search. We're glad to have her down from Canal Winchester today. Take time out from her busy schedule. We indicated now we're going to go kind of switch gears a little bit and kind of get the artsy side of things. And once we head into this time of year, from now on, clear through the fall, there's festivals, there's plays, there's lots of things going on that you can attend, concerts that are great fun to go to. And one of them we're going to talk about today, Aaron will hold this up and you can get this right now. It's Wonderful Town. It's the musical presented by the Fisher Catholic folks out there. We're going to have some guests on here in just a minute. I'll introduce you to those folks. and we've got three of the kids that, I'll say young people. Kids might be a demeaning term. I don't want to do that because they're great young people. I have next to me Carter Corcoran. Carter, thank you for joining us. Very good. And Emma Tobin is on my far right. Emma, thank you. And you two, and we'll have Kennedy Christie on in just a moment. She'll be back on at the end of the show. But you three are all the lead roles, have big parts in this. You sing and talk. You do everything.
We do.
You do?
Yep.
Is this your first musical out there? I know you're seniors, but is this the first time you've done this, or you kind of moved up through the system?
Yep, this is my 4th year doing the musical.
And this is also my 4th year doing the musical.
So as young people, I guess with a smaller school, you get out there and you get it done. And who's the director?
Our director is Mary Walsh.
Oh, okay. And I met Mary's here too.
Yep.
She's not going to come on. Mary, hello, Mary. She's not going to come on. She wants you good folks to be on.
Yep.
So tell us about it. It's called Wonderful Town. It's Friday, March 24th, Saturday, March 25th at 7:30. Tickets are $10. Tickets are available online at fishercatholic.org, or you can purchase them at the door the day of the show. And we'll get back to that and hit it again. Tell us what the show's about.
Well, Wonderful Town is about 2 girls. It's a true story about 2 girls, Ruth and Eileen McKinney. And they are from Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and they go to New York to try to make it big in their respective professions. Eileen is an actress, and Ruth is wanting to be a writer. And it's just a nice tribute to New York, Ohio, and football, because we have a aspiring professional football player in our midst.
Would that be you?
That is not me.
That is not
one of
you.
my-
One of your colleagues up
Yes,
there.
yes.
And who do you play in this, Emma?
I play Eileen Sherwood, like the budding actress.
Okay.
So that's my part.
Is that the part you tried out for, or
Yes,
yeah?
yeah.
And a lot of singing, a lot of work involved in this
Yeah,
to
pretty
get
much.
done.
Yeah. Eileen's a pretty bubbly personality. She loves to sing and like talk to people. She's very open, so it's a pretty fun role to play.
Good. Who do you play?
I am Robert Baker, the associate editor of the Man Hatter there in New York. I work for the newspaper. He's kind of a closed-off guy, the more intellectual type, but he's getting
Typecasting, is
exposed
that
now.
what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Intellectual
Yeah,
type? We
definitely.
put it.
But he's kind of getting exposed now to other things through these girls that he meets.
So it's a learning curve for him.
Yeah.
They come in and kind of put everything on its side right there, 180 degrees, things he's not used to doing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, well, very good. And again, it's called Wonderful Town. It's a tribute to New York, Ohio, and football. Couldn't have any better than that around here. I mean,
yeah.
this is good for you. So I guess we're going to have a song, and we'll get Kennedy into this, and we're all three going to do this, right?
Yep.
And we're going to be back in just a moment, and these 3 fine young people from William B. Fisher High School will be singing Ohio.
Go home, go west, go back where you came from. Oh, why did you ever leave Ohio?
Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why did we ever leave Ohio? Why did I wander to find what lies yonder when life was so cozy at home? Wandering while I wander, why did I fly? Why did I roam? Oh, why, oh, did I leave Ohio? Maybe I'd better go, O-H-I-O. Maybe I'd better go home.
Welcome back after a nice rendition, kind of get a feel for Wonderful Town, a true story, and we've had a little change of characters with us today. Emma has stepped away, and Kennedy Christie has joining us. Carter is still here as the not football player, we would say, but he's still with us. And so we met the other sister, and now we meet you, and tell us about your character in Wonderful Town.
Okay, well, the contrast between Eileen and Ruth, which is who I play, the other sister.
You're Ruth?
Yes.
Okay.
Is astronomical. Like,
Really?
Eileen, she's more of the bubbly, like, she flirts with all the boys. She's very naive, and she's very, not whiny, but, she depends on Ruth a lot. Ruth is the more independent. She is an author. That's why she's actually in New York, is to try and become a writer. But yeah, she's always the one just taking care of Eileen and just making sure everything that needs done gets done.
So, what about the play? You got, and I know it's a true story. I think we heard that earlier. You know a little more about the play?
Yeah, so actually, right before the play, it was supposed to be premiered, and Ruth's sister, Eileen, had moved to California. And she had gotten married to a man, and 4 days before the musical was to be premiered, she actually got in a car wreck, and both her and her husband died. And it was just like a day before or something, before she was supposed to fly out. And Ruth never went and saw the musical. After she found that out, she never went and saw any of the performances. And actually a year after that, she had a daughter, and she named her Eileen. And then in recent interviews and stuff, her daughter has said, how her mom Ruth never got over the death of her sister, just like showing how really close they were.
That's probably interesting from your aspect to know a little bit about what went on, the true story, kind of the tragedy.
Yeah.
And it probably helps you kind of play that role a little bit.
It does, and I mean, especially like her daughter saying how she never got over it, it just shows, like, for me, puts more into perspective on how close they were and just like how they did everything together. They moved to New York together to try and pursue their dreams. Just everything they did was together.
Well, we've got Kennedy Christie on my far right and Carter Corcoran with us here in the middle. And you're both are seniors, as Emma was too. Now, you have any thoughts after school? I know we've got a ways to go, but now it's really coming up very rapid. I bet you wish all your years would have gone as quickly as. I bet the senior year has just flown by. Here we are, just really spring break coming up before long, and then it'll be over. Plans for after school?
I'm looking at either Ohio State University or Xavier University, and I'm still debating on a major. Right now I'm kind of looking at history or maybe in law.
Go Musketeers.
Yep.
We like that.
I do.
Kennedy?
I am going to go to OU Athens, and I'm planning on majoring in psychology.
I like that, OU Athens. That's the other campus down there. I went to both of those. I remember we called it a branch when we went here.
Yeah.
It was not as big as it is now. So that's
Yeah,
and
it's a
what was
lot.
your major? You thought maybe?
Psychology.
Psychology, very good. Tell us again where we can get tickets and how they're obtainable for Wonderful Town.
All right. Tickets are going to be sold at the door, and they're also going to be sold online before at www.fishercatholic.org.
Okay. And they're what,
They
$10?
are $10 for adults and $6 for students, and that is the same for both at the door and online.
And other cast members, how many speaking parts, how many kind of lead parts do we have on this? A lot?
There's quite a few.
No? We're getting a little coaching
Yeah.
here? Okay. How many?
16.
16. Oh my, a
Yeah.
lot going on
I
there.
heard, yes.
Yeah. How long have you
Really.
been in working for this? Several weeks, months?
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're really getting down to it now. It's coming up, putting in the hard work now.
Yeah, it gets to be a little crunch time
Yeah.
now. Now there's no looking at your scripts anymore, probably going on like that. Is this the most fun your senior time having this? Is it, you find this most enjoyable?
It is a fun time. I'm glad I could spend my senior year doing this.
That's great. Tell us your director again. Give her a little plug here.
Mary Walsh.
She's
putting
been here
in the hard
directing
work
us
here.
as we've been on.
Yeah, she has
She's
been.
been
Still
no
helping us
rest.
out.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it sounds like great fun. New York, Ohio, football. I mean, golly, around here it doesn't get any better than that out there. So, and again, it's Friday, March 24th, so it's a week and a half, a couple weeks away. Saturday, March 25th at 7:30, and again, as Carter said, tickets are available online. FisherCatholic.org, is that the website where they can get all that?
Yep.
Okay, FisherCatholic.org, or you can purchase them at the door. $10 for adults, $6 for tickets. I hope it goes well. Got a little while to get it in. Anything else you wanted to mention?
We're actually going to have a live orchestra also.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah,
Is Miss
so-
Rare going to do that?
She is.
Man,
Yes.
nobody.
She
I love
works hard.
Judy. She does a great job out there. I mean, the musical folks out there. You do such great work. So, good luck on this, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks on Bit of Luck. I know you all be
Yeah.
out there,
All right, there.
either parking cars or serving food or whatever seniors will do out there on that. So, I want to thank Emma for being. Thank you, Emma, for being with us earlier. Miss Walsh, thank you for your help here too, and to Kennedy and Carter, thanks. Best of luck. Wonderful Town. Go to FisherCatholic.org. That's where you'll be able to find out all the information. So again, break a leg. Have a great time out there and a good senior year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and the Frankie Smith Funeral Home.